That's it, making the magic happen with Dimir Artifacts. Great synergy, love that game. Welcome everybody, thanks for joining me today for another draft of Aetherdrift. I'm Nico, aka another MTG, trying to make the magic happen. So without further ado, let's draft. We opened a Bloodghast. That can be good, but it's not my favorite rare here. It's double black. It has haste as long as an opponent has 10 life or less, and it has landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, I can return it to the battlefield. Other than that, we have a Transit Mage, which is a really good card. There's also Maximum Overdrive here, a Thunderhead Gunner, Pit Automation. I don't really know if I wanna Bloodghast as my first pick. I think the Transit Mage has just more upside, more value here for me. So I'll take the Transit Mage, but I'm not gonna lock on any ideas. But the Haunt the Network is, to be honest, it's a very good follow-up. And other than that, the Spire Max Cycle is okay and the Terran is really good. But I think Haunt the Network can be very annoying and very game changing, so I will take that here. Seeing it, taking it, that's okay. Now there's a Quack Feast, which is a solid black removal spell. I mill 2 cards, then destroy, choose when it ends, so I play it, I choose target creature, planeswalker or vehicle. I mill 2 cards, then destroy the chosen permanent if its mana value is less than or equal to the number of cards in my graveyard. So it's really good in the mill deck, but in the Golgari deck, but I think it's a good removal spell anyway, because it can remove also a vehicle or a creature, so I will take that. Other than that, we have some okay-ish comments, but I don't want to take the Collision Course or the Stallout over the Quack Feast. So now there's a second Haunt the Network, and I think that is a good sign, a good sign that we definitely could go into some crazy artifacts deck. And to follow up is a Wreckage Wickerfolk, which I do love. I think the Nibblethopterist is also good, but the Wreckage Wickerfolk just makes me Surveil 2, and also we have a Back on Track. But I do believe that the Wreckage Wickerfolk is just the better pick here for me now. So, oh wow, and here we have a lot of red cards. There's many red cards. There's also a Trip Up, and I think the Trip Up is just a fine card. The other cards is Dracosaur is okay, Reckless Velocitor, I don't love it, and Rather Catalyzer, Goblin Severity. Most of those cards are just not really good. We could take the Dracosaur if we have to go into red, but I think taking the Trip Up here is the better choice, so I'll take it. And if only now, okay, so it was a good idea here. Here we have Pit Automation and also Maximum Overdrive, Deathless Pilot, and a Keen Buccaneer. None of them are really so I mean, Pit Automation is good, but it's just a defender. It's a 2 mana 0/4 defender, so this will gain me some time, even if I don't have any exhaust abilities. But I think the Pit Automation it helps with the Haunt the Network, so it has some artifact synergies, and to be honest, I just love to have a good blocker here, especially if I want to go into the late game to squash my opponent with the Haunt the Network. And now there's a Keen Buccaneer versus a Grim Bauble, and I do believe that the Grim Bauble is just fine, especially if I end up in the artifacts deck. Here there's a Guidelight Matrix. When it enters, I draw a card, target mount or you control becomes saddled. That's a 2 and tap ability. And target vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. I do like the Maximum Overdrive even though it's not an artifact, but I just love it a little more. And now I definitely need to focus on some creatures here. I'll take the Nimblethopterist gladly. And now there's a Locust Spray and a Stall Out, which I don't love. Don't love any of those, to be honest. I'll just take the Locust Spray. Maybe it can remove a whatever, a Venom Cyclic Ag, for example. And here's a Rover Blades versus a Deathless Pilot. This doesn't really fit my artifacts strategy, but I only have... Oh, that was just too late. So I was just making order here. So okay, that is my removal pile. It is an okay looking removal pile, and here's another Haunty Network, and that's just insane. But you know, do I need 3 of those? Sure, because it always creates a Thopter, but maybe it's gonna get tabled. And at the moment I also have a Flood the Engine here, and I also have a Spin Out. So looking at my curve, I do believe probably the Flood the Engine is the better choice. There's also a Ticket Tortoise, which I do like because it helps me with the mana. Other than that, there's Air Response Unit, but I do believe that probably the Haunty Network is going to be tabled. So I'll take the Flood the Engine here just to have some more really solid removal cards. And here we have a second Transit Mage. What we don't have so far are artifacts that cost 4 or 5, and I do believe if we don't pick them up here, that's not gonna be helpful. There's also a Marshall's Path Cruiser, and I do like it, but I think the Transit Mage is just the better card here because I can get artifacts. And here we have a Spike Shell Harrier, which I am very, very gladly to pick up. Because it just bounces a creature or vehicle to an opponent's hand, and it's an artifact, so it does everything that I want. Taking that, and now it would definitely be good if I found some 2-drops, maybe even the Walking Sarcophagus, but there's also a Scrounging Skyray. I mean, it's not an artifact, but I thought it's another one. I don't love that card, not in my deck here. So do I take the Skystreak Engineer? Just it's a flyer that can be a 3/4 later on, I think, because it's a 2-drop and I am lacking 2-drops. Definitely could use some more nice artifacts here. Here we have a Scrap Compactor and Nesting Bot, but I don't wanna splash white unless I absolutely have to. Still no artifacts here, but this, oh yeah, so we can get the Spike Shell Harrier with the with the Transit Mage. So out of this pack, I think taking the Scrap Compactor is just a better idea, or since we have some removal, maybe just the Night Market, just to be sure. So it seems like this archetype is pretty open here. There's a Skyseer's Chariot. Not too fond of that. Another Skystreak Engineer, and I think it's okay to get that card. Other than that, I don't love the Spell Pierce because and the Ticket Tortoise is okay, but it's just a 3/1 defender. I think the Skystreak Engineer is what my deck lacks at the moment, is 2-drops. And here is Wickerfolk Indomitable, which is a fine artifact creature that I can return from my graveyard. There's also a Voyage Home, but I do not think that this is worth splashing for. And a Starting Column that makes mana of any kind, but I can sack it and draw 2 cards, then discard a card, but I am lacking creatures. I only have 8 creatures, so I will take the Wickerfolk Indomitable. And here we have the next pack, which contains a guideline optimizer, and that is what my deck wants and needs at the moment. The deck so far, I believe it's looking good. 2 Haunting Network is nice, Spike Shell Harrier is nice, Wickerfolk, Wreckage Wickerfolk is nice. So I think it's okay if we find some crazy card. Like here, I'll just take the Ticket Tortoise because I don't want to splash. There's nothing worth splashing so far. Here I'll take the Hull Drifter because it helps me gain some, draw some cards. It gives me card advantage. And here's a Skybox Fairy, which I don't love, so I'll just take it here. What do we have here? Another Hull Drifter and an Unstoppable Plan. I'm not sure if I really want 2 Hull Drifters, so let's just hope for some really good cards in pack number 3. So far I do like it. I think that's very okay here. And here we have a Pactal Terror, and that just rounds up the whole artifact stack. I think with the 2 Haunting Network and the Pactal Terror, that is definitely what I should be taking out of this pack. There's also a Flood the Engine, and here we have a Cheek, which is really good, but maybe it's even worth splashing. But you know, those artifact synergies that we have come from the Pactal Terror are just way too good. So I found for the Transit Mage, I can get the Pactal Terror, I can get the Hull Drifter, so I am happy with how this worked out. And here we have an Ether Siphon, and I do believe that that is very good actually. It's playable in that deck, but there's also a Spin Out, and I do believe we have just the Grim Bauble, the Locust Spray. I do want more solid removal like the Spin Out, which I do love. I would love to have another Flood the Engine, but here we have a second Pactal Terror and an Oil Deep Gear Hulk. Wow. So do I want that? For sure. When it enters, look at target player's hand. You may choose a card from it. If you do that, player discards that card, then draws a card. Also another Pactal Terror, but I cannot pass the All Deep Gear Hulk. Not with that deck that I have. I believe it's just way too strong. I do hate to pass that Pactal Terror here, but that's also a 4 mana thing, and I'm not passing that here. So there's a Ranger's Refueler and a Guidelight Synergist. That is, to be honest, that is worth splashing for. We have the 1 Ticket Tortoise if we find another land that's blue and white, but other than that, there's just nothing in here for me. I don't really. It's that one. It's also, but in this case, to be honest, I'll just stay with 2 colors. I always mix up those 2 cards: the Ranger's Refueler and the other vehicle that just becomes a creature during my opponent's turn. But that is a good card. And now we have a Nimblethopterist, a Marshal's Path Cruiser. So 2-drop wise, it's looking good. Nimblethopterist is okay, but I don't love it. Not that much. Stalling Column, it's okay, but we are not splashing a 3rd color. I don't think so. Marshal's Path Cruiser is just okay. It removes a basic land, and then it's a big vehicle. But maybe the okay. So here, Grim Bauble versus Flood the Engine. You know, but I do believe, to be honest, that it's not an artifact, and we don't have, how many artifacts do we have? 12. So we have some artifact synergy, but Flood the Engine is just better than Grim Bauble. You know, I do love a good Flood the Engine. So we have now. There's a Haunted Hellrite. Whenever you attack, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and Death Touch. I do like it because it gives 1 target creature Death Touch, and it can make a very small creature very big, and that is a Greenbelt Guardian pick number 7. That is just very, very unusual. Here's another spin out, and I do like that. So I will start. I don't think I'm going to use the pit automation. I don't think that I need that. I don't think I'll need the locust spray. Risky shortcut, nothing really here. That's okay, but so it's another 2-drop, I guess. Howless Heavy is okay. Drifter is okay. Don't really know if I want to play 2 copies of that. And here's a trade the helm, exchange control of target artifact or creature you control and target artifact or creature an opponent controls. Sure, it can be good, but I don't love that card. Here's another starting column. And here's a Lotus Guard Disciple and a late Nimble Thopterist. Okay, so let's just take a look at this deck. So cards to cut, I do believe that the Kalorna can go out. I do believe, so let's just put the combat tricks and interactive spells on a separate pile. I do think 2 Flood the Engines and 2 spinouts is a very, very good thing to have. 2 Haunt the Networks, 2 Hull Drifters. I think the Trade the Helm is not necessary. I mean, I can get a big thing. For example, I can trade the 1/1 Thopter from the Nimble Thopterist. I don't need the Trip Up. I do want those cards. I don't need the starting column. I don't know if I want the Marshal's Path Cruiser. I don't need the Ticket Tortoise, to be honest. The Quack Feast, do I really want it? Do I really need it? Is it better than Grim Bobble? No, in this case it's not better than Grim Bobble. So we have five removal spells. I can cut 1 Skystreak Engineer. So now we have 11 creatures, which I don't love, you know. But so should we put back 1 creature over the Transit Mage? So I'll just swap. No, I do think that is nice like this. I think we can just get rid of the maximum overdrive because but I can use that, for example, to save my Gear Hulk if I have it. Still, it does have the least upside and it doesn't fit the deck strategy. So that is my deck. Guidelight Optimizer, 1 Ranger's Refueler, 1 Skystreak Engineer, 1 Wreckage Wickerfolk, 2 Transit Mages, a Haunted Hellrite, a Marshal's Path Cruiser, 2 Nimble Thopterists, 1 Pactal Terror, 1 Wickerfolk Indomitable, an Oil Deep Gear Hulk, a Spikeshell Harrier, 2 Hull Drifters, 2 Haunt the Networks, 17 lands, one of them being a Night Market, a Grim Bobble, 2 Flood the Engines, 2 Spinouts. I think it's solid. Let's give it a shot. Sometimes you just wait minutes, and this time it was just 2 seconds to find an opponent. I think that is a hand I want to keep. The Dimir Artifacts deck is not the strongest deck in the set, but it can be strong, and I think I have enough synergies here. So now I'll just play an island and pass the turn. Opponent plays a swamp and passes the turn as well. So I will just open the game by casting a Skystreak Engineer here. Just a very good card. 2 mana, 1/3 flyer. Opponent plays a Guidelight Matrix, draws a card, and plays a swamp. So now I do believe that the thing to play is the Transit Mage and search for sure. I want to search for the Pactal Terror. Yes, me likey, attacking for 1 damage, passing the turn. Opponent draws a card. Opponent plays a Plains. Opponent appears to be a black and white artifact stack here. Guidelight Synergist, something I would love to not have here. So now I'll play the Pactal Terror and I'll just not attack here, passing the turn to my opponent. So I can just bounce it with the Spike Shell Harrier next turn and attack, go in for all the damage in the world. Or I can play 2 of those, the Haunted Hellrite plus the Wreckage Wicker Folk, pinging for 2 damage. It's also good. Ooh, no, that's my Pact Terror gone. So in this case, I do believe I will bounce that later. Just, I hate that my Pact Terror just died. But I think I can get the Oil Deep Gear Hulk now and play the Wreckage Wicker Folk after getting the Oil Deep Gear Hulk. So now I'll play the Wicker Folk and I'm able to surveil 2, have 5, 6 lands, don't need another land. That's both cards I want to keep here. No attacks at this point. So the opponent draws a card and what are they doing? Opponent plays an Elacrian Armory. Okay, sure. At the beginning of combat, choose up to 1 target mount or vehicle. That becomes a... Until end of turn, the permanent becomes saddled. Okay. No blocks. That has vigilance. Okay, sure. But now I will just... Yeah, I'll play the Oil Deep Gear Hulk. I will choose a card. That player discards that card. I want the Right's End to be discarded. Then they draw a card and I don't want to attack now. No attacks here. So next turn I can bounce the Guidelight Synergist. Let's just hope they can not kill my Gear Hulk. I think it's not the best of the Gear Hulks, but it's okay. Okay, Voyager Quick Welder, Camera Launcher. Opponent has a very strong Guidelight Synergist now. That is a Vigilance creature. I don't wanna block here, so I will just Spike Shell Harrier now the Synergist. And do I attack? Sure, those are no flyers. I'll attack at least with those creatures here. Sure. They can block my Gear Hulk dead, but I can live with that. And it has lifelink and ward, and I gain 4 life off of it. Maybe it was a stupid idea, but you know, I do believe. Ooh. Let's just see. I can play the Hull Drifter here next turn. Draw 2 cards. It's too bad that my Pactal Terror just died here. Ooh, Grim Bauble. I can Grim Bauble that plus +1 and have Vigilance. That just sucks here. Do I wanna... I'll attack with all and kill whatever they... No, I'm not... This is just a stupid situation. I'll not attack. They have the Guidelight Synergist, so... I'll just attack with the Spike Shell Harrier, I guess, to surprise them if they want to block with the Guidelight Synergist. Okay, so I can kill the Voyager Quick Welder at least with the Grim Bauble here. I would have loved them to block with the Synergist, but I understand why they didn't. So that needs to be crewed for 3. Opponent has a Dune Drifter, which they are casting. That is a strong deck somehow. Opponent returns the Voyager Quick Welder Shore and goes in for a lot of damage. Okay, that's... So I was hoping for them to attack with the Guidelight Synergist. Let's just hope they don't have a Light Shield parry. But I do want to crew that and block with those 3 creatures that here. So at least the Synergist is gone. Okay, Synergist is gone here. We drew the Ranger's Refueler. I want to play that. And I also play the Nimble Thopterist. So I'll not attack at this point. I was stupid, I guess, to sacrifice my Gear Hulk. But now at least the Synergist is gone here. And opponent doesn't have max speed, so this just is not as dangerous at the moment. So opponent plays a tune-up, returning the Synergist. That just sucks. But we do have removal spells, we just haven't seen them. So if I could find a removal spell, I would be very happy to pick that up now and get rid of that Synergist, also of the Sahur. Alacrian Armory, sure. Opponent has a very good synergy deck. The synergy works in that deck, but I do believe my deck can be very strong as well. Opponent attacks with the 2-3. Okay. Passing the turn. Okay, we drew not what we needed. So we can play the Haunted Hellride. And we can exhaust that, making it a creature, drawing a card. Now we can cycle the Night Market, I guess, because we don't need any more lands here. So I can attack with... Those are all not strong enough to kill the Ranger's Refueler. And if I attack with the Ranger's Refueler, that can get Death Touch until end of turn. So I do think I should attack with the Ranger's Refueler at least. Giving it +1/+0 and Death Touch. So... opponent is wow, that is a long slow game. Opponent crews their Dune Drifter and blocks the Ranger's Refueler with those 2 creatures, sure. So those 2 creatures are gone because of the Death Touch, which I do love. And do I want to play another Swamp? No, I'll just love the element of surprise here. Opponent has the Alacrian Armory, is not too shabby in that deck, to be honest. They are attacking with the Guidelight Synergist. We could have used our maximum overdrive. Do we take the 4 damage? I do believe we want to take 4 damage. That's okay here. Going down to 13 life. I would love now a removal spell. That is a removal spell. Definitely what we want, what we need. Get rid of that Guidelight Synergist here. That's very good. So now I can cycle the Night Market, draw another card. We drew a Hull Drifter, and do I want to attack with any creature? Sure, I can attack with one of the Transit Mages. It has done its duty. So next to. They have no flyers at the moment, so I can also attack with my flyers and with one of the transit mages. Give the transit mage death touch and +1/+0 until end of turn. Let's see how they want to proceed. Okay, they are taking the damage, going down to 11 life. I don't need to play that swamp. Opponent draws a card and plays a Pactal Terror. Sure. Gaining a life, losing a life. Fair, fine by me. And they are passing the turn. Now it's my turn. Drew the Guidelight Optimizer and the Aetherdrift. So we'll just play the Aetherdrift first, draw 2 cards. And hopefully we find a removal spell. Now we found a Haunt the Network, and that's just insane. Guidelight Optimizer, sure. So I can crew that. So, or do I just I'll just attack with my flyers. They don't have flyers. And if I can cast the Haunt the Network next turn, I do believe that this is just going to be good. Attacking with 1 transit mage, giving that death touch and +1/+0 until end of turn. Opponent does block with the Voyager Quick Welder. That is a trade that I will accept. Both are dead. And it's the end of my turn. I pass the turn to my opponent, who draws a card and plays a Walking Sarcophagus, pinging me for 1 life, gaining a life. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artifacts here. So the Haunt the Network is going to ping them really hard for 6, 7, 8 life. And then I can just attack with my flyers, 9, 10 life. Okay, that is my turn. So let's just cast the Haunt the Network. And that is opponent is looking seeing if they can react somehow, sacrificing another creature, surveilling at max speed, creating a 2/2 zombie. Sure, that's tapped, but now I gain a lot of life, and opponent is at 4 life now. We can just attack with 2 of our creatures and with the flyer as well. We can crew that for 3 via the Nimble Thopterist and attack with the Aetherdrift and with the Wicker Folk and with the Thopter, and that's the game, I believe. That's it, making the magic happen with Dimir Artifacts. Great synergy, love that game. Let's play another one. If you do like the content, feel free to show some love by hitting that like or subscribe button. It helps me out to make more content like this. Thanks, I'd appreciate it a lot. So, that hand is okay. I'll keep it. Don't even know if I wanna play the Night Market first turn. Yeah, I'll just get the tap land out of the way, making a black source because we have the spin out, I think, and in this case it's better to have the 2 black sources and a blue source, which we're gonna need later on for the Gear Hulk later, maybe as well. Okay, opponent is playing a mountain and a Grease Ranch Goblin. Sure. I'm playing a Ranger's Refueler. So, passing the turn. Opponent is playing a Forest and a Hazaroth Godseeker. Sure, that can be really annoying later on, but I think if we just flood the engine now, it's not gonna be the biggest problem here. So next turn I'll play the Thopterist. Opponent. Okay, so I'll play the Thopterist. Sure. I will crew that for 2. And I will attack with my Ranger's Refueler. Opponent goes down to 17 life. Now they are attacking, probably before exhausting anything. And if they do, yes, so I will not block here. Now they are exhausting the Grease Ranch Goblin, discarding up to 2 cards, then drawing that many cards, putting a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Sure, I am now at 9 life. So what's to play now? Wickerfolk Indomitable, just to be on that safe blocking side, and we'll play another island. Next turn we can just spin out. So I do believe I don't want to attack now. Let's just play a safe game here and wait what the opponent will do here. If they have some bomb, I have some removal. If they don't have a really good bomb, I can just kill the Grease Ranch Goblin or the Prowcatcher Specialist just to stabilize here and then get my late game plan going. So opponent, they are considering what to do, taking their time, passing to attackers. They are attacking with the Prowcatcher Specialist. So I do think, okay, is it sure? Do you really want to attack? Okay, so this is a 3/2, and this is, I do believe I'll just crew that for this, and if they put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, okay, so I'll think the safest way to block here is just to, but this can become bigger later, so I'll just block like this, and this will be a 4/3. No, I'll just block like this, why not? So opponent is going to exhaust, but then both our creatures are dead. Yes, sure, I can live with that. I just don't want to be run over here. Not that fast. So now we can cast the Wickerfolk Indomitable, Huldrifter and Skystreak Engineer. Sure, I think the Skystreak Engineer is at the moment the safer choice, and I'll just pass the turn. Maybe I'll attack with the Thopter here, or maybe just with the Nimble Thopterist. Go in for 3. Yeah, sure, why not? Go in for 3 damage. Opponent goes down to 14, passing the turn. Opponent plays a mountain and does they are attacking now, so I think I'll spin out the goblin here. Just, you know what, I'll just spin it out. Let's just hope they don't have a big thing, but now it's gone. Now I have the upper hand. I can cast the Wicker Folk next turn. Okay, here we have a Thunderhead Gunner. I knew it, but it's okay. I don't think it's going to run through here. My turn. And we found the Skystreak Engineer and the Wicker Folk Indomitable. Skystreak Engineer, Wicker Folk Indomitable, paying 2 life, already did that, so I'll just sack the 1/1 to have another 4/3, and that is okay. I'll attack with the Wreckage. Oh, this has reach. I'll not attack here, not at this point. Next turn we can exhaust the Ranger's Refueler. So opponent plays a forest and drawing a card, discarding a card. I need to tread very, very carefully here because I'm at 4 life. Opponent could have a Bestow Greatness or the First Strike spell. Pothole Mole, okay. Sure. Milling some cards. Returning a land card to their hand, sure. Okay, so they are considering what to do. Lightning striking my Skystreak Engineer. I can live with that. I don't love it, but I can live with that. So are they attacking? No, they're not. We drew the Hull Drifter. Now I want to draw 2 more cards. Found the Oil Deep Gear Hulk and the Transit Mage. And I'll just pass the turn. No attacks here. Still not able to stabilize here. I mean, we stabilize, but we want to gain the upper hand in this game. Opponent discards a forest and draws a card. Thunderhead Gunner is just insane. Just a very good card. Gilded Goda, sure. Passing to attackers, my turn. So what we definitely want is to play the Oil Deep Gear Hulk, sure, because I can look at my opponent's hand and discard a card. Ooh, wow. That card, they have many lands in their hand. And I can also play the Transit Mage, searching for my Pactal Terror, and pass the turn. Don't want to attack, not at this point. End the turn. So opponent drew a card and discards a card, draws another card via the Thunderhead Gunner, and now they are... The games with these decks are long. Okay, kickoff celebrations. They discard a card and draw 2 cards. Okay. I can live with that. So now they probably have some better things in their hand than just lands. They have a removal spell here, it seems like. Okay. What are they doing? Passing the turn? I would love that. Broken Wings, okay, sure. That I can live with that. So I could also use a removal spell, to be honest. 3, 6, 7. I'll play the Pactal Terror. Gaining a life, pinging for 1. Opponent goes down to 13 life. And opponent, does it please resolve? Okay. Stalling. Opponent is stalling. So I need to get rid of that Thunderhead Gunner to be able to make my move. Or just draw a haunt the network. Opponent, I'm not attacking at this point. No. Passing the turn, opponent draws a card. Opponent is at maximum speed. Plays a Venom Sac Lagak, sure. And very, very slow decision making here. Thunderhead Gunner discarding a mountain, drawing another card. Come on. I'm thrilled here. This is a very, very interesting game. Okay, they can sack something, destroy an artifact. They are sacking their Aetherdrift, sure. And they are destroying my All Deep Gear Hulk. Sucks a little. They have to pay the ward cost. So I can just crew that before this dies. Now it resolves. That sucks because I could have gotten 4 life off of that, but you know, if I can just kill that Thunderhead Gunner, things are looking different. Opponent passes the turn. We drew a land. Definitely what we need, not what we needed. Passing the turn. No attacks. Ooh, cancel attacks, no attacks. And the turn. Opponent's turn, they drew a card. They activate their Thunderhead Gunner's ability, just infinite not land draw, which is a really, really strong card. Could have used one of those here because my land situation is not so nice. Afterburner Expert, sure, exhaust to put 2+1/+1 counters on it. Whenever you activate an exhaust ability, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's also annoying, to be honest. The opponent doesn't have any exhaust abilities other than that one here. So passing to attackers. My turn. Transit Mage. We can look for another mana value 4 or 5 artifact. Sure, we want that. We want the Spike Shell Harrier, Hall Drifter. Why not the Spike Shell Harrier? Let's just cast it here. Pinging for 1. Target the Thunderhead Gunner. Want to get rid of that here. I gain a life. And now I can attack with my Hull Drifter, I think. Let's just crew that Nimble Thopterist. Opponent has no flyers, so I can attack with my flyer for 3. And did I attack with that as well? That's just 4 damage. Opponent goes down to 8 life then. Oh, opponent has a removal spell, sure. That's my Hull Drifter gone. So opponent just goes down to 11 life. Still, I do believe I have enough blockers for that situation, even if they play their Thunderhead Gunner again. Not gonna kill me now. I would love to draw one of my Haunty Networks. That would be amazing. Opponent is very, very, very considerative here. Definitely taking a lot of time with their decision making. I do understand it. I don't think I think that's very, very alright here, because that is a complex board state. Marauding Macaw, I don't see why this is in that deck, but just seems like a filler card here. Mold Tender, and they drew another card. So they are... Come on. There's not so many things you can do. Okay, passing the turn. I'll Grim Bobble the Venom Gag, or just the... What do I Grim Bobble? The Legag, sure. Why not? Gaining a life, pinging for 1. I'll Surveil. Why not? Surveil 2. Love surveilling. No swamp needed. Haunt the network is what I want. So I will not attack at this point. Maybe with my flyer. No attacks, because they have the Thunderhead Gunner. My board state is looking solid. Opponent plays a Dracosaur. Sure. That is a flying haster that can deal 4 damage. Okay, they are saddling it. 2 damage to any target. Wow. They can kill my... no, they cannot kill my flyer. That's 2 damage to my Nimble Thopterist. Sure. I do want to block because gaining 1 more life or afterwards from the Haunting Network is just not enough, but I don't want to lose that much life now. So I have 1, 2, 3, just 3 artifacts. Still, I need to cast that Haunting Network to get some blockers for the Dracosaur, and okay, now opponent is at 3 life. If I attack with all my creatures, will I kill them? They can kill that. They can kill that. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attackers. So I think the right thing is just still to wait. But you know, now I can put so much pressure on them. But if they can live, if I attack with all my creatures, let me just think this through. They can kill that. They can kill that. And then they can kill that. They can kill that. So, whew. I think I'll just not attack, not for now. Another Dracosaur, that's just evil, pure evil here. But the Haunting Network just saved my ass here, to be honest. Such a strong card. Okay, they are exhausting that. They are saddling that. So if I take all the damage, no, they can just deal damage to my flyers. Then it's gonna be 8 damage into my face. If they kill my flyers, if I survive that and draw another Haunting Network, that would just be the most amazing thing, I guess. Opponents still taking their time here. Come on. I know it's a tough spot. I would attack with those 2 and kill my Thopters. But I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it's the same thing than the turn before. But if I just find 1 removal spell, come on. I know it's a tough decision here. Tough decision making. Not easy. Opponent attacks with 1 of the Dracosaurs, killing 1 of my Thopters. So I'll take the 4 damage, going down to 10 life. Opponent is at maximum speed. So now we drew a land. That's just, wow, that's just sucks. I hate drawing lands at this point at this stage. I could have just used a removal spell. Anything other than a land would have been nice. Don't want to attack the flyer. They have to block the flyer with the flyer. Then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's just not gonna work out. They can kill my Spike Shield Harrier. They can kill my Pactal Terror with that. I just don't love the idea of attacking now. And the turn. This is a... Come on, this is a situation I do not love to be in. Okay, drawing another card. They can kill my flyers if they attack with both of those. Then it's 8 damage. And 2 can go into my face and 2 can go into that. So I think I might be dead this turn. Because they can assign 2 damage to the Thopter, 2 damage to me, and then they go in for 10 damage. Which is the best thing to do for them. And then I'm dead. But let's just maybe they are not aware of that. I don't know. I guess they are. Anyway, it was still a very, very good game, to be honest. Yeah, so that's it. They can kill me at this turn because I don't have enough flyers. And they are attacking with all their creatures. That's it. Fair enough. Okay. It's not the best starting hand, but I'll still keep it. Making that a black mana source. Passing the turn, opponent draws a card and plays a mountain. Nice looking mountain. Playing the island and passing the turn. Opponent draws another card, plays an island, passes the turn again. So that's how this will continue. Playing a swamp, passing the turn. Opponent plays a mountain and plays a house squad heavy. Other goblins have haste. I'll just spin that out right away. Then I drew another land, passing the turn. Opponent plays another mountain, followed by a boosted sloop. That's the vehicle that makes them draw a card whenever they attack. And here we are really nice at drawing lands today. Hull Drifter drawing 2 cards, that's good. Okay, so now we have something to play. Opponent draws a card and plays another mountain and a Spiremax cycle that has haste. That's good. Exhaust, tap another untapped mount or vehicle, attacking me for 6 damage, which I don't love. Poof. Okay, that hurts. I am at 14 life. Playing a swamp, playing a Wreckage Wicker Folk. Surveilling to Oil Deep Gearhawk, I do love that. And sure, I'll take the... I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's more than enough. I'll take it in that order. And now I'll just play the Nimble Thopterist to gain 2 bodies here. I need something to block the Spiremax cycle. And the turn, this can just be exhausted once. So now it is already... It's crazy that they can just tap an untapped vehicle. Because that makes the Spiremax cycle a really good card. I've never read it that carefully. And I have not seen much play, but it's just good, to be honest. It's a 6/5 haster. So Yeah, drawing a card, discarding a card, and I do believe that I wanna... Sure, I'll crew that with the Nimble Thopterist, and I will block... Is it okay that I'll crew it? Okay, it is. So I'll block with those 3 here. That's... Apparently they can kill all 3 my creatures here. Do I just wanna... Do I wanna block it that? Do I just wanna block with 1 creature? Just with the Hull Drifter? I don't know. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could go in for 8 damage. I'll just block with the 1/1, I think. Or no, I'll block with the Hull Drifter. I don't wanna... Yeah, I don't wanna die now. Opponent has a Goblin Dynamite. Okay, and Rider Spike Spitter, sure. So now we have to play the Oil Deep Gear Hulk. That player has to discard the... Flood the engine, I don't want that. Poof, flood the engine. Okay. And... Do I attack trying to Grim Bobble them? Do I just attack with the Nimble Thopterist here? Opponent blocks. Oops. So that is my Grim Bobble killing the Spike Spitter at least. That's good. So that is no more. And passing the turn. Opponent plays an island and attacks with the Spire Max Cycle. I wanna block. Do I wanna block with the Gear Hulk? Just to be sure to gain at least 4 life off of that. And let's just hope they have that. Crash and Burn, which can deal 6 damage. So I think they are gonna cast the Crash and Burn. Sure, that's it. Casting the Crash and Burn, so I will lose my Thopter and my Gear Hulk. Wow, this doesn't look very good for me. This card is just insane, having that as early on the battlefield. I could cast the Haunting Network, but I don't love casting it now, to be honest. That's just a vehicle. That's also a vehicle, and that is also a vehicle, so I think I should honestly just cast it, because otherwise then I'll just draw 2 cards. 2 more cards. Flood the engine, that's good. So play the island. Don't attack. I can flood the engine on the Spire Max Cycle next turn. And now I have some more artifacts on the board. Opponent has a Monument to Endurance, sure. They play the Memory Guardian, sure. Don't love that. Crewing the Boosted Sloop, attacking for a crazy amount of damage. So I will need to block the Max Cycle here. I don't want to get 9 damage. Just 3 is more than enough at this point of the game. I also don't love the Guardian, to be honest. It just sucks that my opponent has... Maybe my deck just didn't work out this turn here, but I'll flood the engine on the Max Cycle. And I'll need to haunt the network now. Yeah, otherwise, because I need some creatures. So I gain only 2 life off of that 4 life, but that's okay. I have some more blockers. Don't love it. Opponent is definitely pressuring me with the Memory Guardian and stuff, but maybe I can recover here. Haste, haste, Affinity, flying, sure, crewing that for 1 menace. So that can still be exhausted for 4, drawing a card. I lose 2 life. Okay, they draw a card. This just sucks. Wow. I guess I'll take that. Yeah, 1 blocker. They still exhausted, sure. Okay. I am at 8 life. Opponent is at maximum speed. Doesn't really look too good for me here. I can haunt the network another time. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8. I can play the Marshall's Path Cruiser. Find a land. Play the land. Play the haunt the network. Gain some life. Make some tokens. And pass the turn. No attacks. And the turn. So don't love that situation here, but having the 2 haunty networks just bought me some time here, at least a little bit of time. So opponent, what are you doing? They also cast a haunty network. That is just, that sucks. Don't love that. Crewing that for 1, sure. That is a nice deck they built, to be honest. Okay. So I'll just take 3 damage and block those 2, I guess. Lose 3 life. Wow. That was just very, very fast. Too fast for me to be able to interact. And that is the game. That is just a very fast blue and red deck. I can Grim Bobble, but that's it. 2 life. I cannot get out of this. That's it. So, okay. 2 lands. Nothing I can cast. Don't love it. Nothing I can exhaust. But I have a feeling if I mulligan this, I have many 2-drops. I'll keep it. You know, if I lose now, I guess it's my own stupidity. But I have yes, okay, that's good. I have so many bad experiences with mulliganing a hand like this, and then it just turned out to be much worse than before. Opponent only played islands so far. Seems to be a mono blue deck. I don't know. Okay, we can Grim Bobble that camera launcher as long as it's just a 2/2. I want to get something off of my Grim Bobble, and that bought me some time here as well. Opponent plays a swamp followed by a nimble Thopterist. Sure. We have 2 flood the engines. We have spin out. So mana wise, we have the Transit Mage. I want to cast that. I want to grab my Pactal Terror here. That's good. Making every artifact that enters a potential 1 life pinger. Okay, 1 damage into my face. Opponent passes the turn. They might have a spectral interference, which I do believe, but I'll still need to give it a shot here. No, they did not have a spectral interference. Sure, I'll attack with the Transit Mage going in for 2 damage. Opponent draws a card. Opponent plays a Flood the Engine on my Pactal Terror, which definitely sucks. Playing an island. Playing the Marshall's Path Cruiser. Finding a swamp. Get rid of those lands. And surveilling. Sure, surveilling too. Oil Deep Gearhawk, I do love that. I definitely love to have that. Attacking for 2, opponent goes down to 15 life. Passing the turn, opponent draws a card and plays a swamp. Sure. So, what are they doing? They flooded the engine on my Pactal Terror, which I hate. Gaunty, that needs to be taken care of, because whenever they deal combat damage, they get a card. That just is, wow, this hurts so much. So we flood the engine on the Gaunty, and we have to spin out the Gear Hulk. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just it. I hate that. Going in for 2 damage. Opponent is at 13 life, passing the turn. Opponent casts my All Deep Gear Hulk, I guess. This just hurts my feelings. Gaunty is just insane. Sure, that resolves. Now I wanna spin out the Gear Hulk. Sure, yes. Board 1, auto pay. Gear Hulk is dead. Still, they can choose a card, and they are probably gonna take the Haunt the Network, which I don't love. Going in for 4 damage, so we found another Transit Mage. And I do want to take action. I want the Spike Shell Harrier. And I will now cast the Wickerfolk, Wreckage Wickerfolk. Surveilling 2. Sure, I'll take that. Do I want a Guidelighter Optimizer at this point of this game? It's better than a land, I guess. It's just a blocker here as well. I can crew that for 5. An attack for 6, and I do think that is what I should aim to do. Attack for 6. Going in for 6 damage. Opponent is at 7 life. So that is a good game, to be honest. It's not clear who's... Oh, wow. Wow, come on. That hurts. I'm at 1 life. Opponent is at 10 life. So what is the thing to do? I can bounce one of those Thopters, and I can flood the engine on the other one. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7. But that's 8. It's not gonna be possible. But I do have the Wreckage Wickerfolk to block the 1 Thopter, which is okay. And I have the Ranger's Refueler. And I can go... I need to be able to block... No, I'm not gonna be able to block. I can crew that for 5. And I can attack. But I'm not gonna be able to block 2 of those. I cannot bounce them. I cannot flood the engine. I can just pressure my opponent, but they are taking 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. They go to 1. Oh! So that's the game. That's the game. Okay, Dimir Artifacts. I thought I would be crushing my opponent, but because I had 2 Haunting Networks, but you know, and it felt good, but there were some key elements missing. Not enough Pactal Terror, not enough Wreckage Wickerfolk. So that's a disappointing draft, but those are also part of the game. If you liked the video, you can show some love by hitting that like or subscribe button. It helps me out to continue making more videos like this. I'd appreciate it very much, and I wish you a nice day.